Hi people, I hope you're doing well. I want to welcome you to this beautiful setting and to this beautiful day. Today we are here with my beautiful friends. We're here as talking hands, listening eyes on postpartum depression. Now it's given that in 5 women, new mothers, 1 out of the 5 goes through a mental issue or mental health, or what we call depression, and they go through what we call postpartum depression. That is a depression that gets mostly from 3 weeks to 4 weeks after birth. Every mother looks forward to having a good life with the baby, having the beautiful moments with the babies, but this most of the times doesn't happen. And in case it doesn't happen the way you want it, what do? That's why we are here to discuss a journey of 2 beautiful moms who are new mothers, and they will share with us their stories of their life, how they have been, if they have gone through PPD or they have seen other moms who have gone through postpartum depression and how they have taken it. Today I am with my sign language interpreter, who is Nancy Shege. Nancy Shege will be our voice for the deaf people, because today we are focusing, talking hands, listening eyes focuses on the deaf new moms. We are here to enlighten them about postpartum depression, which is a silent killer, and most of the times it's not discussed about. Many deaf women suffer, go through it, and they don't know what it is exactly, and they don't know how to go about it, because the hearing moms most of the times, when you visit, you ask, how are you feeling? How is the baby? But for the deaf moms, sometimes they don't get that, and sometimes they don't get to the root of how it is. So we are here to discuss it and to give them a journey. On my other side, I'm with Celestine Jagi. Celestine is a mother, and she's also a lawyer, and she will tell us more about herself when her turn comes. She will give us her journey as well. On the far end, I am with Catherine Kinya. Catherine is also a mother, and on top of that, she's a deaf mother, and she will give us her views on how the society takes deaf mothers, how the society sees them, and what is expected. And sometimes our expectations as hearing people is not what is expectations for the deaf people. So we are here to talk about this serious mental health issue, which most of the times it's not discussed about. My name is Pidi Kihumba. I'm a founder of Talking Hands, Listening Eyes on Postpartum Depression. I'm also on a recovering journey of postpartum depression, and that's why I'm here to talk from a point that I know, and from shoes that I have worn before. And so we are here, and I hope our conversation will be a good one. You'll learn so much, and keep us posted, keep us informed in case you want to be with us, in case you want to reach us. By the end of the show, we will tell you where our contacts are and where we are and how to reach us. We are purely for now online, but we are trusting God that you get us and you touch us. You will get in touch with us. So I'm here with Celestine and Catherine. And Catherine, I want to start with you. Tell us about yourself and who you are and how the motherhood journey is for you.
My name is Catherine, that is my sign name. I am a single mother of 1, a very beautiful girl who is 14 weeks old, and I'm also deaf. Yes.
Okay. How was it like to be a mother? How did you feel? From the time you went to the hospital, did you go to the hospital and you were tested that you're pregnant? Or how did you know you're pregnant?
Well, discovering that I was pregnant, I think I went I was pregnant until my friend asked me to go to the hospital, requested me to go with hospital. And we paid, I think, around 50 bob. And I was surprised that I was tested and I was pregnant. I was so stressed, thinking how I'll do, can I abort, where will I get everything? I was not able to decide. So my friend told me, other than aborting, just be patient until you give birth, because God has blessed you with that. So I went back home. I wouldn't sleep. I would just roll in the bed, stressed. I had no idea of what I would do. So trying to think what I would do. I would try and cook I would take a black tea so that the baby can maybe I can abort, because that is the information that I had. I was so stressed. I was ready to die with the baby. But my friend kept encouraging me, told me not to abort, because after that life might be hard. And that time, remember, we were going through the COVID times, so I didn't know what to go to, who was to support me, because I don't have parents. I had to accept the situation, try to think about how I care for my pregnancy. So my friend explained to me to reduce my thoughts and the stress that I had. And she also showed me where I would get the clothes from the market. I bought a few things. At the time, I went to hospital to give birth. But previously, I had not gone for any clinic to get any test or any medication for the 8 months. So when I went to I would try to go to hospital, like a private hospital, but the private hospital is very expensive. In general, I'd go to I didn't have money, so I would want to go to a public hospital where it's free. So the 9 months when I was almost giving birth, what was I to do? I had no idea. So what was I would ask myself what I would do. So when I went to hospital, I gave birth and I was so surprised. Oh, I've given birth to a baby. So the doctors would ask me, where are your parents? Who is coming to check on you? I tell them I'm an orphan, I don't have anybody. So my friend cared for me. There was nobody to come again to care for me, only one friend. So I went home, and in my house, I was also patient to take care of the baby. I remember Judy came to support me, but I didn't even know her. She came, introduced herself. My name is Judy. I'm ready to help you. And she was ready to support me. So God bless you so much, Judy, for helping me, for caring for me and for my baby. At night, the baby would cry, and I wouldn't hear. So I don't know, I didn't know what to do. The baby was there, nobody to care for the baby. When the baby became sick, I had no idea the baby was ailing. So Judy came, I explained to Judy, and Judy came, told me not to worry, told me what to do, explained to me, cared for me and everything. So just a little bit, in my house, I was not able to work. My friend would come and help me together with Judy, and up to now, Judy has really helped me. Cooking, food, and everything. I remember one time, Judy came at 4, worked, cooked for me, and then left at 9. So I was all alone in the house, left alone. After a time, I think 1-2 weeks, then the baby, I was supposed to go to hospital, but Judy came for me. She explained to me, told me not to stay in the house alone. I needed to move and go to another place. So I came. Judy told me not to worry. She was all with me all through the time. So anytime there was any voice, like any bomb, like I cannot hear. So even when the baby is crying, I'm not able to hear. So there were some people who were throwing some stones in my house. There's nobody, I wouldn't hear. I was just sleeping. Nobody would tell me. So my neighbors would tell me, would come and sympathize with me, and no much help they would give me. Then again, my nipples developed an issue. I was not able to breastfeed the baby. It was too much pain. It had a lot of crack. So the pain was intense. Now this also stressed me. How would I eat? How will I feed my baby? What do I do? Do I take the baby to the hospital? Is it the baby is sick? Because the baby kept crying all the time. So what was I supposed to do? I have no idea myself. I have no information. The baby is there. What do I do? I have nothing to do. So even my friend, one time they decided not to come. But Judy kept coming. there was no family who came to me. So I was all alone by that time. It was so stressful. Until now that Judy decided to bring her in her house so we can live together. She can try and help me take care of the baby. So I lived with Judy. I came to her house, stayed there. And at night when the baby cries, because I can't hear, Judy is always there helping me. Remember, I still have the cracked nipple. So I would cry, but Judy encouraged me. Every day it was a pain over another pain. So for the deaf people who are there, they continue suffering. For example, for me, maybe for all of us, maybe we need some awareness to create to the deaf people and the deaf mom about the PPD. It's a big challenge. Please, maybe you can help people, inform them, tell them what they need to do. If they are suffering, try and be of assistance to them. When they have a challenge with their babies and they don't know what to do, you can help them. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Wow. We've heard from a deaf mom. Those are challenges that deaf moms go through. And this is not only for the deaf moms, even the hearing moms. The only difference between the hearing moms and the deaf moms is because the hearing people have a lot of support, I would say. They read so much. They may hear this from TV, radios, recording, YouTube, and all that thing, so many media places. But for the deaf people, there's so little information about postpartum depression. I don't think it's even highlighted among the mental health issues, especially to the deaf. This COVID time, we really focused on the mental health of everyone else, but we've forgotten about those who have especially given birth during this COVID time. From what we've picked from Catherine is that she was alone, knowing how the deaf live in a community because of their communication barriers, that they can be able to communicate with each other, they understand each other better. And now this COVID time, she was alone because with the restrictions of visiting, nobody would go to visit her around this time. And that's why we are here to discuss more and to encourage more deaf mothers that when you are there alone, know that you're not alone. We are here to work with you and to offer the support that we can, the psychosocial support and any other support that we can, so that you don't feel alone. Motherhood is a very beautiful journey. But sometimes it can be very difficult if you are carrying it alone. Remember, this baby has come and changed your lifestyle and changed your everything about you. So like Catherine would visit her friends before, this time the baby has come, she can't walk around, she can't visit her baby. COVID has happened. Again, she can't keep moving around. She's fearing to the infections to the baby. So with all this, I want us to welcome Celestine. Celestine is a mother, and I want you first to tell us about your motherhood journey as we continue.
My name is Celestine Jagi. I'm a mother to an amazing little girl. She's called Tebet, who is going to be turning 2 in the next week. So I'm grateful to God. Motherhood journey, it has been amazing, but it has its ups and downs. When you get a baby, I think the society expects you just to know how to mother and nurture because, well, that is what motherhood is. But it was challenging for me. So when I gave birth, everyone tells you, okay, when you go to hospital, listen to the doctors, do what they tell you, but no one actually tells you what happens after. You see, even when we are having, let's say, during the baby shower, everyone is telling you what to do with the baby. This is what you shall do for the baby. It's always about this is what you shall do for the child. But yourself, everyone kind of leaves out the mother during that process because you're expected to know. It's supposed to come to you somehow. That is what we assume. But now I know better. For me, after I gave birth, it was hell because it was what we call normal birth, vaginal birth. So what happened? Now, of course, I had some stitches which were not healing, and I did not know fast how long it's supposed to heal. Usually, when you're in hospital, you hear 2 weeks and you're fine. So I wait for the 2 weeks. I'm thinking, okay, this is not going to be so long. 2 weeks, a month goes by, a second month goes by, third and fourth. You can't sit properly. you can't walk properly. It affects you because sometimes even when the baby is crying and you have to breastfeed this child, and for me, kwanza, I didn't know how to breastfeed. I just actually happened to stumble upon let's say an article which actually now taught me how to hold the baby when you're breastfeeding. And now where does the baby breastfeed? Like you're told now it's the whole areola. Most of the time I just used to assume it's the nipple because that's where the milk is. So as you see, and when you're listening to Catherine, you will know when the nipple, when she says it's getting cracked, it's because now the baby's only suckling on the nipple. And that is what was also happening to me. I used to hate breastfeeding. And now every woman says, oh, breastfeeding is nice, it's good, you're supposed to enjoy it. I hated it. Honestly, I did not even enjoy it until now. This is up to the 4th month. That is when you actually know how to breastfeed. And actually now when I actually learned about it, it became easier. But before, you can imagine those 4 months, first I can't sit properly. And then when you're at the hospital, you're advised not to breastfeed the baby when lying down. So I'm expected to sit. I can't sit properly, I'm in pain, but somehow I'm supposed to breastfeed this child. I am not sure where to breastfeed because everyone is assuming that should come naturally to you, which I don't even know how, or I was thinking I knew how. So it's always pain and agony when you're breastfeeding. It's so painful until you learn where to actually breastfeed. So you can imagine for me, I think people just don't know one thing first. That you see, when you're expecting maybe a deaf mother, you're saying, she's deaf, maybe anafaa some Google. But the English yenye yetu iko framed. Now the way the deaf English, the way it's framed, it's very different. Hata jua vile anafaa, so it will be tasking for them. Itakuwa ngumu. So kwangu kama ni ngumu, and what about them? For me it was hard. It was I thank God for a patient partner because here, I think I could have lost my mind. That is what I usually say. I almost lost it for sure. I used to think this will never end. It will never come to an end. Shida ni mtoto wangu, she also used to cry a lot. Now when I think about it now, because I know now when she's fully akisha shiba, she can sleep through the night. And then I think maybe she never used to get full. Because up to until 8 months, that's the first time I knew I slept like for 24 hours. Like usiku, like a whole night rest. Before then, I did not have that. So it was so stressful. First, I can't sleep enough. Sitting to breastfeed this baby is also hard. Everything was just hard. So let's say the motherhood journey it was not easy. But at least you get to see the giggles and the smiles. And then also now talking to other mothers also helps. It actually does help. Actually, thank God it was not even like during COVID. Because during COVID, I don't know what first-time mothers went through. I know it could have been so hard, but depression is so easy to come to you. If you don't have someone, like for me, Shiro is my sister. If you don't have someone you can talk to, apana, you're going to hate motherhood, which is supposed to be so enjoyable, but it can be so hard.
It's true, Celestine. I want you to, from what Catherine has said and from what you've said, if you are a deaf mother, do you think the hearing people who are around you give you the support that if now you are deaf, put yourself, imagine you're deaf, that is, and the people around you during this childbirth and during this journey from 1 month, from day 1 to the 8 months, do you think they give you the support that a deaf mother would want to be given?
Without sounding biased, maybe the people in my life was scary, but for me, I honestly wasn't. At some point, you feel the support, but most times I couldn't. I wasn't feeling that support. But sometimes I'm thinking, why is it so hard? Like sometimes you see, there's this notion here, because you're a mother, you know how to nurture. Ni kama utajua tu how to take care of this child. It should come. It assume that it will. There is nothing so hard kama motherhood. For me, the reason I'm actually even passionate about just women and children, I think it was heightened by the fact now that I got a child. Because before that, I also don't think I was a supportive person to people with children. Now imagine being deaf. It's harder. It's times 10 harder than it would be. Because now first, most of the people who surround the deaf community are hearing people. And if you had Catherine, most people would throw stones to her house. Imagine someone throwing stones to your house. Like, and you can't hear. Maybe they're assuming, mbona mtoto analia, and you can't, mbona usikizi mtoto wako analia. First, you can't even hear that sound. Maybe unless you look for a cue, angalia mtoto ndio analia. And you also know, especially now being a single mom, you'll also be doing other things and probably going through maybe healing. Let's say even it's yes, they can't see. It's going to be harder for them. I think we should be sensitive, even if you live somewhere close to someone, even a deaf person especially, the sensitization should be more. We should be more caring. We should want to know what's going on in their lives, not throwing stones. Apana, that's very depressing. No.
Very, very true. Speaking from a deaf person's point of view and speaking from a hearing person's point of view, we've had Celestine. I'm sure we have so many deaf people out there who are young and new mothers, sometimes who don't know what to do. Like what Celestine has said, it's a whole big thing for a new mother. I'd say personally, I have a 5-year-old and I have a 1-year-old. And the 5-year-old's time was different from the 1-year-old's journey. I think the first 5-year-old, it was easy because I had so much support. The only thing I lacked is the people around me, as Celestine has said, would take care of the baby and wash the baby, take care of the baby, but no one ever asked me the whole journey, how are you feeling? How is your emotions? And this is what we lack most of the time.
Let me even interrupt my sister here. Kwanza, I've just remembered when Shiro got this child, I think I was trying, but not trying enough. That is what one thing I will say. Because everyone, we're excited, there's a baby, oh my God. I think this Shiro's child is the first newborn baby I've ever held. So it was such an exciting journey for me to hold the baby. But I'm thinking, hey, man, Shiro has a baby, let's all go, let's go visit. But when I visit her, what am I concentrating on? On the baby. There is something Shiro hates me for. I used to tell her, mpaka right now still, mock her for it. The baby is crying and she's like, come mommy, dokire now to me. Like, baby, like, come mom, stop crying. Come mom, stop crying. For me, I'm thinking, I used to take it like a joke. I'm going to my mom, Paka, I'm making the joke. Like, imagine Shiro is telling her baby, she's even crying, Shiro Mwenye, she's crying. I could not understand why she's crying. But then, now, being now a mom, I know because a baby can cry. The cry of a baby, people just, if you don't have a child, the cry of a baby, especially a newborn baby, and maybe you don't even have like enough support, you can go crazy just based on the cry of the baby. Wacha kitu ingine, mtoto analia unasikia, no, something is just wrong. So manze, for that, manze Paul, and I understand.
Yes. Now imagine how many other mothers there. When she calls Shiro, it's me, Judy, she calls me Shiro. I allow her. So imagine how many mothers out there, deaf women there, who don't have someone to tell them or even to express that emotion. Because when I was telling the baby to stop crying and I'm calling her, come on, stop crying, it's because I was feeling overwhelmed. And here, my sister can't understand what I'm saying, that I need help from my own way. Imagine a deaf mother who can't sign at the same time, tell the baby to stop crying. The baby won't even hear because that's another whole topic, because the mother is deaf. So imagine these deaf people, what they go through. We need to sensitize, we need to tell more people, we need to reach out to the deaf people. If out there you are a family member where there is a deaf person who has given birth, please walk the journey with them. And not only the journey of the baby. I know I really appreciate families which have deaf people, deaf mothers, because they take them through the talking journey. You know, that's the most difficult journey. When the baby starts to get speech, to know, to understand things, they take them. But who works with the mother? Because of the language barrier. That's why we are here as CLEP, talking hands, listening eyes on postpartum depression. We are here to talk this journey, to share this journey with many more other mothers, to give our views, to even to have doctors and counselors. In case you are there, you don't know where to go to or who to talk to, we are here to walk the journey with you and to encourage you and to look for the support, we look for counselors, we'll do counseling, we'll get you attached to a doctor in case it's a medical issue. But if you're there as a deaf person going through that hard time, as Catherine explained to us, please don't keep quiet. Talk to us, reach out to us. We are on Facebook, and we are even on Instagram, and we have a phone call which I'll give after. We have a phone number which I'll give after this. But I want us to talk even to the health cares and the doula and those many other people who help mothers give birth. Sometimes we don't know how to handle the deaf people. I know we may talk of a challenge of being deaf, we can't communicate, and there is no sign language interpreter there. But from what you picked from Catherine, I think it's a very difficult thing. A mother who is in labor, you're telling her to push, she doesn't know how to push. She doesn't know, after she has given birth, how to hold the baby, as Celestine said. She doesn't know how to breastfeed. So these are more, we need to be more sensitive, we need to be more aware that even as we help mothers give birth, remember that there are mothers who may, yes, they are mothers, some may have gone through this because they want to have those babies. Some may have gone through this because circumstances has forced them to be in motherhood journey. But in all this, let's remember to be a bit sensitive to them and help them. Reach out to interpreters. I know sometimes when you're in pain, you're not able to do much, but at least to help and support the deaf mothers. Now, I would want us to think about this journey, as Catherine had said it. Thinking that our neighbors, people who are around us as deaf people, sometimes they are not sensitive enough. Catherine said that her baby would keep on crying, screaming, sometimes scared, because the people around there are throwing stones, not being sensitive on the baby again. They are only thinking about this mother who is not taking care of her baby, who is neglecting her baby. Yet that's not the thing. So let's be a bit sensitive as a society that yes, we have deaf mothers. But even if you throw that stone to her, even if you threw whatever thing you throw to her, if she's deaf, you know, there is that hard of hearing where they can hear a bit from far. But imagine a deaf person who can't hear anything. So let's be a bit sensitive even as a society, as people who live around the deaf people, to know how to take care of them. I've taken Catherine to the hospital as we go for the jabs, the vaccine jabs. And sometimes when the baby is getting that shot, the baby will scream and she's there wondering, why is the baby crying? Until I tell her the baby is crying, she's like, why is the baby not crying? But it's because the things that us hearing people think that it's common for us, it's not common to the deaf people. Because remember, we have a language barrier, we have a hearing, they can't hear, so we need to be more sensitive to them. Wow, that was amazing. Motherhood is a very beautiful journey, as we have had. It has its ups and downs, but with support, it's the most beautiful journey. Talking hands, listening eyes on PPD is clear. We are on social media, and we'll be running this on social media. We are on Facebook as CLEP, THLEP. You can search us on Instagram, same CLEP, CLEP, Talking Hands, Listening Eyes on PPD. And we also have an email, which is clep.org@gmail.com. We also have a phone number. In case you are a deaf mother, a hearing mother who would want to reach to us, we are on 0769 811 399. Anytime you call that number, there's somebody who will receive your call. We can hook you up with a counselor, with a medical doctor, or even a person who can help you walk with the journey of mental health. We're so excited to be with you and to talk to you about postpartum depression, and we look forward to having many more talks with you. God bless you.